Question. Who's in the mood for a little bit of uplifting? Back in 30. Hey, this is Jan from New York City, and my channel name is Jan from New York City Saves Money. How's everybody doing today? Hope that this video, as usual, finds everybody doing well. And if you are brand new here, welcome, welcome, welcome. If you are a veteran here, thank you, thank you, thank you. If you're just dropping by to say hi, hey, hello. On the phone with me, I have a most wonderful lady. And for those who know her channel, you will totally agree. And her channel name is Granny Moreno. Am I saying this right, Granny? Is it Moreno or Marino? Moreno. So I'm actually correct. How do you like that? We have some technical difficulties as far as hooking up for a video appearance, which was definitely Granny Moreno's actual thing that we were going to do. But maybe we have problems with the internet connection or something, but we are determined to get the message out. Thank you so much for being here. And your real name is, let's get it right. What is your first real name again?
Granny.
Yes.
Moreno.
Right. No, but your actual first name. I don't want to is it okay if I say your first name? Is it Betty or Sue, or am I wrong? Something like that.
I'm Betty.
You're Betty. There you go. Just wanted to, I don't want the whole world to think that you're a granny only. You are besides a granny. You are much more than that. You are a wonderful lady. I happened upon Granny Moreno's channel about a year and a half ago because I saw nothing but positivity, nothing but good inspiration. To me, Jan, this is the idea of true success. To me, the idea of true success is not about wealth. It's about how you live. And it's about giving good, positive messages in life and being a wonderful person in general, and to honor God in the best way possible. And you, my dear Granny Moreno, are a living example of this. I have to ask you this. You are a very positive person. Where do you get your inspiration from?
Actually, I get it from one of the oldest books ever written, and that's called the Bible.
Absolutely.
Really, I do.
Awesome.
That's where my inspiration and thoughts come from. And I turn it around into everyday language so that people can understand.
That's wonderful. And in the troubled times that we are living in currently, specifically, you are literally, for myself personally, a ray of sunshine. If you have never gone to Granny Moreno's channel, please head on over there, and I will be hooking up a few videos of hers in my description box below. Now, speaking of troubled times, in your best opinion, how can one remain upbeat even during times of difficult stress, for example?
You have to always keep positivity in the back of your head. And if you come into one of those days where you have a pity party, get out of it as quick as you can, because there is hope. As long as you have breath in your body, you have hope. So once you have hope, then you can begin to think a little bit more bright, a little bit more positive. So for myself personally, I just simply have to toss away the bad thoughts and begin to realize that after the darkness, the sun always rises, and there's always hope. And I just begin to encourage my own self. That's what we have to do in today's society.
So what you're saying is that we are actually in charge of our own thoughts. Thoughts may come and go, but we have the capacity to reject a negative thought and turn it into a positive thought and keep the hope alive. Does that make sense?
That makes perfect sense. It is. I mean, you are correct. That is the best explanation I can think of.
Oh my goodness. Well, that's what I get for, viewing your channel, walking away with a lot of all of this wonderful, lot of bit of awesome and a lot of bit of positive. Now, another question, how do you handle, we do have naysayers in the world. Not everybody's as sweet as yourself, or even once in a while as sweet as yours truly, just saying, just saying. How do you handle naysayers or negative situations as best as you can? What do you do? What practical thing do you do to handle that?
I look at them square in the eye, and I look like a dumb old lady to them, and I say, really? That's what you think? And I turn and I walk away.
Wow, that's just too simple. So, would you tend to think that maybe in our society, people, including myself at times, tend to overcomplicate things in life?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And my years are getting on up there, and I don't have time for any negativity and naysayers.
You make a lot of sense. You really do.
You got to spend a good time thinking positive and working towards a good goal.
Aha, goals. Oh, I love that. I love that, because a goal without a plan is only a wish. And that topic came up in a recent video of yours. Am I not mistaken?
That's true.
Wow.
That's very true.
And another thing, Granny Moreno, your videos, for whatever the reason, are not like 2-hour videos. You say what you need to say, and you say it so beautifully, but you get to the point. Is that on purpose like that, or it's just the inspiration of the moment? Are some videos longer than others? I think one of your videos ran a little longer than 10 minutes once a while back, but unfortunately I don't have the opportunity to watch them every single day. But when I play catch up, I really sit down and binge watch you.
My morning videos are always short. I try to go for 1 minute. Sometimes I go 1.5. But the reason being is there are some people that only watch YouTube on their phones. And I don't want to use up all their batteries.
Wow.
Another reason.
That's the first time I ever heard, excuse me, my dear. That is the first time I ever, in the history of doing all these shows, heard someone as thoughtful as that. That thought never entered my mind. You are so amazing.
The other thing about keeping it short in the morning, because, and I heard you say this a long time ago, what your thoughts are in the morning lead to what your thoughts might be in the afternoon. So basically, if you start out with a good positive thought in the morning, you should be happy all day long. That's the way I look at it. That's why it's 1 minute or less.
Wow. It's like a gold nugget in the morning to go with your cornflakes. You know what I'm saying? It's like you sit down with a cup of coffee. Let's have a cup of coffee and a gold nugget of info, of inspiration with Granny Moreno. Absolutely wonderful. Is there a set time that you come on every day, or does it vary? And if somebody hopefully subscribes, then please do, because you're the winner here if you subscribe. There's no set time, but it's early mornings in general?
Well, I strive for 6 o'clock.
Aha.
A lot of times I am taping at 5, and I have it ready to go at 6. Sometimes I oversleep.
Oh, how dare you sleep past 5 a.m., Granny Moreno.
6 a.m. is what I'm striving for.
Wow, you're like me. We're both morning people. Holy smokes. Okay, so just wondering, talking about TV news, that's just an example. I mean, in general, the media, not social media, but news media outlets in general, like big network type media. Just wondering, how do you feel about turning on the TV news? Should we watch it at all, or should we completely avoid it? What's your stance on that?
Well, we have to know what's going on in the world. but I'm not going to let my mind feed on the bad news 24/7. You tell me one time on the news, if the news broadcaster tells me one thing,
Right.
oh, there's been collapse in Florida. Okay, yeah, we got it. But please don't go on telling me the other things. Well, we're all going to die. Well, that's okay. Yeah, I'm close to it.
All of us.
But I don't have to keep watching 24 hours a day, listening to all the bad news. I can point and see and know where I need to send my financial donation to help, like the people in Florida that's had the collapse.
Right.
But I'm not going to sit there all day long
Right.
and listen to bad news coming into me.
Right.
I'm going to get outside and do something.
Right. And to everything, a limit, specifically negative information. That doesn't mean we can't pray for. That doesn't mean we can't bless someone. We need to always, continue our positive works because it's the right thing to do. This is coming from myself. A matter of fact, everyone, please take a look at the scroll on the bottom. It says, please donate to local food banks. Let us make a difference, one can at a time, and God bless you. And that's going to remain on my scroll every single broadcast when I'm on this type of format. Granny Moreno, that's one of the things that really bugs me today, food insecurity. I know I didn't brief you on any questions about that, but this is something that really needs to be addressed. And if everybody could do a little bit, if everyone does a little bit of a good little positive thing, can you imagine the accumulative effect that has?
Yeah. We'd have less hunger right here.
Absolutely. And some people are misinformed because they see crazy images that the big three networks like to put on. In my opinion, this is all my opinion, and anyone can disagree with me on this, but showing interesting video bites of boxes going out and food distributions. Well, that may be true in a little isolated area, but that doesn't mean that the food insecurity is now over. Wrong. Food insecurity was before this mess you're just leaving now, hopefully. And food insecurity is unfortunately continuing. So it is one of my missions, and I was influenced by another granny, and that's Mornings with Granny, because that is her, huge mission, and it's just never been the same. So, well, thank you. But let's get back to this question. When did you start your YouTube channel, your wonderful channel? And do you have a direct mission with this channel?
I started back in 2016,
Mm-hmm.
and I simply wanted to leave information to my grandchildren and great-grandchildren about what Grandma was, what Granny was like.
Wow.
I mean, when you get old, sometimes you don't always have good talks with the children anymore. So eventually, sometimes they will want to know what Grandma was like, maybe 20 years down the road. So that was my first thought.
Wow.
Then about a year ago, when we found ourselves stay at home 24/7, like, I realized that the suicide rate was going high.
Yeah.
Then it became my mission to begin to do a video as often as I could, and that the video must be encouragement and positivity, because people that have no hope and see no future, they have a tendency to try to commit suicide.
Yeah.
So my morning mission is basically to send hope,
Right.
voice of hope to
Right.
those that feel there is no hope.
You are such a special person. This channel has to be, it is known. I'm not just concerned of numbers, subscribers. I'm talking about views, because your message of hope needs to be seen. In my honest feeling, from my gut level, I'm a Christian, and I feel your channel needs to be just shouted out. I remember shouting out your channel on my practical video show a couple of years back. I said, well, that's nice, but it's not enough. I always longed for the day that we would actually share an actual interview. And I'm very happy with your mission. It means a lot to many. Really, really does. I want to mention a bonus mention of a recent video, which is going to hook up into my description box later. And this is recent from you, Granny. It's Your Words Are Creative. That video. That video resonated to me because it's very, very important on how our words so much influence people in our lives. You know, words really are powerful containers. You could either make or break a person forever. I remember some nasty sentences from certain people when I was like 5, okay? Not family, somebody, outside of my family said something really nasty. I was only 5 and it lingered in my head. And I started to believe that negative information until I got older and realized, oh my goodness, that person certainly had a big problem. So the thing is, we really need to be really careful in our verbiage. And I know your video is saying that. How do you feel about that at this point?
I believe everything you said is absolutely true because the Bible says, however a man thinks in his heart, that's what he is. So if you think you're nothing, if you think you're worthless, then that's what you'll become. But if on the other hand, you realize that you are somebody and you are worthwhile,
Wow.
you will be a worthwhile person.
Wow. Wow.
And there's always a flip side of that coin. Flip side to me is positivity. Yes, you can. Watch your words. They will create.
Yes.
And you don't want to create death. You don't want to create confusion.
No.
So turn your words around and make them happy.
Oh my gosh. You see, this wonderful lady, which I know you're going to check out, Run, Don't Walk, to Granny Moreno's channel. Please, for your sake. Granny's got it together. This is for you. This world needs a positive message, and that's what you're always going to find. Not just positive messages, but words of wisdom, ideas, inspiration. It's amazing how exponential good inspiration can be. Well, Granny Moreno, I want to thank you so much for your time. I really do appreciate you taking the time. And you know what? Talk about a success story. We tried like heck to get through the technical issue of getting, you on the video, but we were not about to give up on sharing a message on this show. Thanks again, Granny, so much.
Thank you so very much, Jan. It's been a privilege to be here today.
Oh, you make my heart sing every single day. I really, really mean it. In the meantime, this has been Granny Moreno and Jan from New York City. Thank you so much for viewing. Why? Because I really do appreciate who? You. Don't forget to come back in the future for another show. Have an amazing, fantastic day. Take good care now. Bye-bye.
Absolutely.